Hey guys, how's it going and welcome to the Minute channel. And today I have a video that is not news. It's actually not new news at all. This is something that I reported on back on October last year. But I was thinking about this. I was driving home and I was thinking about this and I was like, wait a minute, I really want to go ahead and talk about this because I did this in one of those Persona news videos that I do, which is like a culmination of like a ton of news and everything like this. It's just like a weekly dump of a bunch of stuff and everything like that. But the more I thought about this, the more I felt like this is an important video because this really talks about what we should be expecting for Persona and Atlus, because at this point I don't think we're gonna get a Persona 6 anytime soon. But we'll get other stuff, and we talked about this other stuff. I made a video a while ago about everything that they're working on and all that kind of stuff. So we know everything that is being worked on right now. Things like the RE fantasy game, and we know SMT5 is under development, and there's other projects and so on. So there's all the stuff that we know of Atlus is working on. But this interview really had me thinking. Persona 6 is probably not gonna come anytime soon, and I'm gonna focus on a particular thing. This comes from Sega, not Atlus themselves, because there was a interesting development on this interview whenever Sega was interviewed, and they would kind of just wanted to know what is going on for them. Like Sega purchased Atlus a bit ago now. It's been a while now, and at the time they were going through Persona 5, and Persona 5 had issues, and it was released, and Persona 5 did really well, and we have all the spin-offs and so on. But this particular quote that I want to direct to you is that basically Atlus, I'm going to just read verbatim here. Atlus is in a phase where the company must create in a direction other than Persona 5 and SMT. Both Sega and Atlus are seriously working on a new IP in attention of the new generation of consoles. Sega's selling point is hidden, colorful nature, where you don't know what you're going to throw at you next, or where are you going to land. So basically, out of those two things, they are discussing that building new IPs is kind of like what Sega is really focusing on. Now, we know new IPs from Atlus has been being a thing for a bit. For example, we know of RE Fantasy, as I mentioned earlier. This is a new project with a new studio that they developed back in 2016, and this is like a split up of a team from Persona. So it's interesting to note this, that the original Persona team that has been working on Persona 3, 4, and 5 is no longer the same team. They have already split up that team into a new development team that is going to work on a new project. That is awesome because it's new stuff, and it's interesting to see new stuff. But that takes me back to my original claim at the beginning. Persona 6 is not coming out anytime soon, and they are not in a rush to do this. Persona 5 is doing so good right now. Persona 5 Royal sold well in Japan. Persona 5 Scramble sold really good in Japan. And these games haven't even hit America yet, so we're looking at maybe a year or two before we really hear any news about anything Persona related for a while. That being said, new IPs can be a source of concern. Sega has been a hit or miss when it comes to stuff that they develop and everything like that. All the stuff that they make is good. Atlus, all the stuff that they make is good, but they usually have a pretty good track record of stuff that they made that is pretty good. However, again, not all projects have been good. For example, there's this project 13 Sentinels, was re-released in Japan a while ago. I never really heard really big things from it. This is not made by Atlus themselves. It's published by Atlus, developed by Vanillaware, who is part of, I guess, like a second division studio and everything like that. And that was a brand new IP, and it didn't particularly excel in any kind of way. The artwork is really beautiful. The Vanillaware does amazing artwork. The gameplay didn't look particularly stunning to me, so I don't really know how that game turn out overall, but it's interesting to see a brand new IP from Atlus just going out and not hearing anything about it. So it can be good, it can be bad, but I figured I will bring this back because it does bring the question to me, when are we gonna see Persona 6? When are we gonna see more Persona stuff? But what else is Atlus and Sega working on? Because working on new IP to me implies that they're working on more than brand new IP, especially when it comes to things that we have not heard about, because we already know about RE Fantasy. We know about RE Fantasy for quite a bit of time. So I do suspect that Atlus is working on a brand new IP besides RE Fantasy, not Persona, not SMT. Because that's what they said at the beginning of the quote here. They are looking to expand outside of SMT, outside of Persona, and build something else. Because again, all of these things, SMT and Persona, have been IPs that they worked before they were acquired by Sega. These things have been long since made, so it's interesting how the dynamic between these two companies is, and how it's been developing and everything like that. We know Persona 5, the dancing games, are a result of these things from Sega and everything like that. So we know Sega, it is playing an important part on these spin-offs of Persona and these delays and everything like that. So to me, it does reflect that there is something else being worked on, meaning Persona 6 is probably not gonna be anytime soon, but SMT is probably gonna be also not anytime soon. I that's what I get from this. Again, this was back in August. We haven't had a single update since then, but I figured this will be something interesting to bring back, because it's something interesting to talk about. This is, again, some of those things that I don't want to talk about and kind of bring a discussion to the table, so to speak. But anyway, that is pretty much it for today. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this, and if you're new, please consider liking and subscribing. I'll see you guys.